Here we go, it's the Whitey Show. I know you like the sound of it. I know you love the style of it. Now sit back, here comes the Whitey Show. All I gotta say is I love the word bitch. Remember me still hating on Nintendo shit? 3 years later, uncharged shits on Gears of War. Now I don't gotta say I hate it no more. Same review who loves to say son of a bitch. Became a YouTube star, still don't own a car. You want a review, you don't gotta look far. Prove once again, these sites ain't on par.
Okay, the story in this game is a little hard to describe because there really is barely any of it until much later in the game, and when there is, it's nothing special or it's not amazing anyway. However, what the game does good is have a good amount of comedy in it to keep you going, and there are actually some funny moments in an RPG. I know. Calm down, I know. But as far as the actual story goes, it's not story driven like the latest RPGs this generation, like Final Fantasy or Lost Odyssey or so on. It doesn't try to main focus its story, and in a way it's not that great because you really don't give a fuck, or you actually don't know what the fuck is happening in this story. And that's kind of a problem because it just throws like little scenes at the end of every chapter to give you hints of what's happening, but it's just mysterious men talking most of the time. So overall, while the story's not that great, it does have some good, you know, comedy moments, and these characters are all unique because there's only 3 of them in the whole party, so at least you get to know them well enough. But if you're looking for a story-driven game, this RPG does not deliver there. The graphics in this game, for the most part, are pretty good. I would say the movements are great because, well, there's a lot of jumping in midair and doing all these dodging bullets and shooting at the same time, Matrix-style kind of combat. And the customization feature of designing and dressing up your character all these different ways is definitely a really cool feature for someone like me who likes to basically have their character look the way, or the way they would envision that character in the game, instead of just the same clothes for the next 40 billion days. However, as far as raw power goes, it's definitely not the best this generation, and I would expect better, especially from Tri-Ace. But it's certainly not terrible, and anybody who tells you it's PS2 level must be on some good shit, and they should share that with me. It's hard to describe this battle system because guess what? It's actually a pretty deep one for an RPG or any game, actually. It looks like you can just tell your character to go to one side of the map and shoot while he's running over there. However, the game does a lot more than that. It is a strategy game. It does have the mindset of something like Valkyria Chronicles, where basically when you move your character, the enemy can move theirs, and then when you're not moving, they don't move. When you're not attacking, they don't attack. Same idea like that. The game's main point is basically your characters have action points. And while you have these action points, you can do all those crazy moves that you're watching right now, like jumping in midair, shooting, blah blah blah, running, dodging, all those attacks that look like Matrix scenes, and it's awesome. Without action points, you can't do any of that, because once you lose all those action points, you go into a critical stage and will probably die. So the game forces you to pick moments when you actually need to use those action moves or hero moves. And at this point, you're probably confused as hell, and to be honest, it's hard for me to explain this battle system. You will have to play it, you will have to learn it, you will have to master it. Because if you don't become good at it, you will die. These enemies don't play around. Sure, the enemies you meet along the way to the boss areas are pretty easy, but once you get to those boss areas, you will have to learn different ways to take down enemies. It's not all about just shooting straight forward. You'll have to go from behind, you have to go from the side, you'll have to use tri-attacks, and you'll have to work basically like a strategy. You'll have to make strategies up while you're in the battlefield, and that's a very good point to the game because, you know, you actually have to think while playing. I know it's a very hard concept in video games. You'll also be able to customize your weapons in different ways, like put scopes on them and put new barrels on them to hold more ammo and so on. So you get the idea that customization is a strong point in the game. The negatives in this game is the game will beat the shit out of you. It will give Demon Souls a run for its money. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not on the level or challenge of Demon Souls, but there are parts in the game that, like the spike of difficulty, just like stabs you, like literally comes through the screen and stabs you through the heart. It's bad, it hurts, and you want to smack the game and probably return it. But if you take the time to sit and learn the strategy and figure out how to beat that enemy, most times you will come through. Sometimes you won't and just return the game. However, if you are willing to take the time to learn this pretty badass battle system, you're going to love it. But don't be confused, this game will kick your ass, and it will beat the shit out of you literally. Well, not literally in the game, but still that hurts. being long and RPG go together very well. So once again, you will get your money's worth if you're looking to get hours out of the game. The game, though, will beat the shit out of you and probably take down your self-esteem so low. So if you're already depressed and you don't feel, good about yourself, don't pick up this game because it will beat the shit out of you. However, if you're up to the challenge, you want an RPG that actually forces you to think and actually customize your characters and so on, you're going to like this type of battle system and gameplay. However, if you're looking for a story-driven game or you want like a whole setting and you can get into this world and stuff, this game is not for you. You might want to pick up a different RPG. Overall, I had fun with the game. It is very difficult though, and it does hurt the game in some ways because some parts just seem over ridiculously bullshit hard. But once you get past that difficulty and you see all these Matrix cool moves and using your body to bounce off the floor and shoot them in the face and throw grenades at them, it's all worth it, and it looks really cool. So overall, it's a good game. It does a lot of good things, but the difficulty definitely drags it down. It's not the best looking game, but if you want to get into a deep battle system and definitely a tough game, you're going to love it.